On a note, just prior to our scheduled report, the first of its kind rocket was launched, and here is Stargate.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
This is About Space, America's return to space, with news and information on our U.S. space program. Is your host of About Space, David Denal.
Welcome and thanks for joining me today. Well, back on July 15th, 2021, About Space reported on a Stargate, and it's real. Here's part of that report. Ever built and launched a rocket? Amazing fun! Today's rockets are usually built in massive rooms measuring thousands of square meters, enough to hold the ranks of bulky manufacturing tools such as drone spinners and fiction stir welding machines. Well, here's a story straight out of science fiction. A rocket that can be built in a small room, which measures just 19 meters across. The company is called Relativity, and the room contains Stargate. Next on About Space Today. Are you ready to fly away on a dream vacation? For cruises and all-inclusive resort vacations, call D&D Cruise and Tours at 877-747-8631. That's 877-747-8631. And see us on Facebook, D&D Cruise and Tours, where your dreams become a reality. Welcome back. I'm sure many of you remember the series Stargate, where travel was possible between distant galaxies. Well, today we may be closer than you think. Stargate is the largest metal 3D printer in the world, and Relativity invented the Stargate printer for the audacious purpose of 3D printing an entire rocket that's intended to fly in low Earth orbit in just 60 days.
My name is Jordan Noon. I'm co-founder and chief technology officer at Relativity. I graduated, went to SpaceX. Both Tim and I saw the promise of 3D printing, and we wanted to see the advantage of that applied to an entire rocket. There's two main advantages that we see by introducing the printing process to rocketry. The first one is reducing the part count on the rockets. So traditionally, rockets can have up to 100,000 parts on them, and we want to reduce that to about 1,000. The second area is in flexible manufacturing. When you have a traditional manufacturing, you end up with a factory full of very expensive tooling. By introducing 3D printing as a baseline to the manufacturing process, you now have a flexible tool rather than a fixed tool. And that makes it much easier to change and modify our designs, especially compared to anyone else in the industry. Often other companies will take a traditionally manufactured assembly and look at each piece of it and try to figure out which one is best applicable to printing and then print that traditionally designed part.
For Relativity, it all begins from the ground up. Mechanical engineer Luke Henderson explains.
Stargate starts when a part is still on a computer. It's in a digital environment called CAD, or computer-aided design.
Basically tell the printer what it is you want it to make. Just being able to maybe print 3 different designs using the exact same tooling, exact same printer, allows you to just kind of bake that into the process, that kind of trial and error.
Stargate uses a direct energy deposition method where you're actually feeding a wire into a melt pool and moving that process around. Stargate prints the majority of the structural components on the rocket, and that includes not only the propellant tanks, but the structural attachments, the payload encapsulation fairing, and all of the pieces that aren't the engines on the rocket. Our printing technology has surpassed even where sci-fi has put some parts of technology, which is often surprising to see. Aeon 1 is a fully 3D printed rocket engine fueled by liquid oxygen and liquid methane. It is entirely printed in only 3 parts, and that is a testament to the part reduction that is achievable through the printing process. We see a future where not only do we have 3D printing, but we also have an automated production line handling everything that comes out of the printers.
And so every day you get to kind of sit down and say, oh, like, have we tried this? Have we looked at that? You really have kind of a blank slate to work with. So it's a lot of fun.
Jordan Noon, Chief Technology Officer of Relativity. Well, this new technology, using the world's largest 3D printer to build rockets for space travel, almost got off the ground for a launch days ago.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
As you can see, we had ignition of our engines, but the T-clock did hold at T0. We're going to stand by for updates.
Announcement countdown, that is the LD. We've had a board and terminal count.
And it's new technology, and they will try again. And About Space will share that news with you. Check out our Facebook page, aboutspace.today, for launches and landings, and invite your family and friends to listen weekly. And join Don Meyer, Space Coast News Editor, this Friday for America in Space. And to all our listeners around the globe and here in the U.S., thanks for joining me. I'm David Denault, and this has been About Space Today.